Hey, welcome back, guys. I'm just doing a little bit of concrete. Right here, I'm finishing off the corner ahead that I didn't finish pouring. All of this is ready mix cement. We got a bunch of rip bags and stuff discounted at a local hardware store. This is about 10 bags right here, 5 inches thick. It turned out pretty good. I got it a little too wet. It's gonna interfere with the strength. That's what too wet concrete. All the aggregate settles, all the stone, gravel settles to the bottom, and all the light stuff comes up to the top, and the top is weaker when it's really wet. So what I've been doing, due to the wateriness, so I take my float. This is a aluminum float. I go over and I squeegee all the water off the top, and I bring it to this corner. You see there's a huge puddle of water right there. And I squeegee it into the corner, and it runs out. Gets rid of some of the water. The problem with going really slow is you got these riffle marks. Fix that by going over it really quick. I'm just getting water off of it. Squeegeeing all the water off. This has probably been sitting, like this part right here, that's probably been sitting for probably an hour and a half. It's pretty firm. Yeah, I actually put quite a bit of weight into it, and that's all it does. And I could just clean that right off with the float. They make aluminum, they make wooden, they make magnesium, and they also make steel floats. This just happens to be aluminum. It's curved slightly, but you can just work that right out. When I'm going, I'm tipping it up like this, ever so slightly, in that direction, and then when I go back this direction, I tip it back up this way. And when I'm floating the concrete, if I'm gonna go back and forth this direction, I make ever so slightly tip it this way. That pushes my line that way, and then I won't have a line in here. If I tip it this way, well, I guess it don't really matter once it's set up like this. You can't walk on this right now, but it's pretty firm. You push down on it, you got quite a bit of support there. Just go back and forth pretty fast, a nice steady pace anyway. If you're going to start floating though, don't start in the middle. Don't just set it off in the middle, because then you're going to have a line there. You're going to see that when it's all set. You want to start off at the edge and work your way to the other edge. Right here I have another edger, well, another tool. This is an edger. I probably should rinse that off before I use it. But this makes that nice radius line at the end of your concrete, like that. Makes it nice and round like that. It also helps with cracking. If it cracks, it's going to crack right there instead of cracking along. You can also have a seam joiner. It looks very similar to this, but instead of having a curve on the side, it's going to have a double bevel in the middle. So it's like putting two of these together side by side. So you can make a joint right across the center. And again, when I'm doing this, I tip it back ever so slightly when I go this direction. And I tip it back this way ever so slightly when I go back this way. When you first start, it's going to be kind of difficult. You're going to want to push down on it and keep it up this way. And I have it really up in the air. just to start that line. And then once you get the line really nice, this has been set probably half hour ago, so I just go back and forth every half hour. Just to get all this water out. And then you're going to have a new line. You can either leave that, or you can get rid of it. I like to get rid of it. That's all just personal preference. You could just leave that line right in here. Some people like that look, having that line go all across the concrete. But that is not me. Not for a garage anyway. Maybe for like a patio outside or a driveway. But having all this water on the concrete is actually going to probably make it really smooth on the surface. But when you're done with the edger, don't stop in the middle and don't start in the middle. You start at one of the edges, and then you can smooth it out with your float if you don't like that line. And there you go. Now you don't have that line in there. Yeah, I got a couple lines, but I can get rid of them after I turn the camera off. That's kind of difficult holding the camera, trying to give you a good picture while I'm also doing that. Right now I'm mixing some more up. I got some more. That's another 80. That's an 80-pound bag right there. Sometimes I do 260s at a time, but I don't ever do just one. It's either 180 or 260s. I do. Sometimes I'll do an 80 and a 60, but that's a lot of concrete. So I'm going to extend it up to almost the air compressor there. I got the ladder suspended, so I'm not actually touching the ground with that. Oh, I probably should put oil on that. And then it's just going to go up to the toolbox, come up around. You can see where it's really low. You can see the puddle of water. That's all the runoff from the top of the concrete. It's coming off and running out into the low spot because I added too much water. It likes to work its way out. Just squeegee it off. I think this will be pretty good when it's all said and done. I might actually turn out better than what it did over here, and I was amazed how well this turned out for what material we were working with. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more on this barn. I just bought insulation, and I'll be putting insulation in between the studs. And then I'll also be doing a video on the other half of the concrete. I might actually frame it up there around one of the door and then split it in half. Do this section and then this section later, or vice versa. But I'm not going to do one half pour unless I can get like 5-6 guys to help me with it, because it does take a long time. This has been me by myself for about 3 hours. Maybe like a hand for about 20 minutes here and there, but one guy by himself, ready mix, hour or two. That's 5 inches thick. It's not that bad. That's 10 bags. This makes bag number 8, and I'll probably do one more after this bag right here. About 11 bags. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Here's the finished product here on the concrete. It's setting up really good here. It's pretty solid. The water's all off the top. The water that's here is from me squeegeeing it from the back where it just finished up. I squeegeed it this way, moisten this up a little bit, smooth that out after I went over the edger, so it won't look like that. The edges look really nice, and it has a really nice radius on it. Happy with that. The joint here, I'm really impressed with this joint I made. Yeah, it looks pretty ugly, but you're not going to get perfect on it. It's actually pretty easy. It wasn't too hard. It went underneath the air compressor a little bit, had that lifted in the air. The ladder's completely off the air, off the floor there, that's in the air. I can actually climb on it too. I got a board here going up to the wall there, supporting that. and I got it screwed there in the wall, and I have it screwed up stairs so I could actually climb on that ladder. So I'm just gonna watch this concrete for probably another hour or so. Make sure there's no lines in it. You can't see no lines. Right there, you can see a line. You're gonna wait a little bit for water to leave, and then I could go over that again. And I'll see if I can touch this up here with like a brush or something on the seam. That took me about 12 bags, I'd say. And 12 bags of mix between 60 and 80 pound bags. 12 to 15 bags for that. Originally thought it was going to be 10, but turned out to be a little bit more, just because I want some bags so far. Here in the corner, that's about 5 inches thick there, and it gets gradually smaller and smaller as you get up here, and then on this lip, going back to here, it's only like an inch or two thick on top of this other concrete. Addressing this here, I'll probably just leave that puddle there. It doesn't really make a difference to me. That's all done. And then tomorrow, I'm going to start off with, I believe, this section here. Use this more than I use that over there. So I get that done first. I'll frame up this side, and then I'm going to go straight back. I'm going to put a board right up to this side with that, so it'd be over probably about there. Go over. I just bought some more bags of concrete. I got 6 more in my truck, and I got a lot more in my trailer. I'm going to bring them in so they don't get wet overnight with dew. Thanks for watching. See you later.